Good morning. When we think of the signs of the last days, we would often turn to Matthew 24 or Luke 21, but we forget the four horsemen of the apocalypse in Revelation chapter 6. Now, some religions will avoid Revelation if they can, but Jesus wanted us to have this vision not only to know what was going to happen, but also to find out how we can get through this difficult time and come out of it victoriously, completely on God's side.
As we know, chapters 4 to 8 of Revelation speak of a scroll sealed with 7 seals. When Jesus opens the first seal, we're given assurance that he's in control, because a white horse appears, the rider is given a bow, and as it says in verse 2 of chapter 6, this rider goes from victory to victory. He's victorious over all the problems that come next. When Jesus opens the second, third, and fourth seals, we find 3 horses, coloured red, black, and pale, representing war, famine, and death and illness. Now that's the natural progression. War produces famine, which produces illness. Revelation is beautifully written. It's very orderly. When Jesus opens the 7th seal of the scroll, it reveals 7 trumpets. Before the 7 trumpets sound, there's something that we need to know, because the 7 trumpets announce fairly bad news. However, in chapter 8, before these trumpets start ringing, we see an angel with a golden censer, and in that there is a good quantity of incense. And as it says in verse 4, from the angel's hand the smoke of the incense went up in the presence of God, and with it the prayers of the saints. So from this we can be assured that although we might go through quite difficult times, our prayers will be heard and they will be answered. The 5th, 6th, and 7th trumpets are also called troubles or woes. So it makes us wonder what's going to come. However, in chapter 10 and verse 6 and 7, the 6th trumpet is sounded, and the angel says this: the time of waiting is over. Now we must be thinking by now, we've waited and waited. Is this waiting going to go on forever? But the angel says, no, it's over this time. And in verse 7 it says, at that time, when the 7th angel is heard sounding his trumpet, God's secret intention will be fulfilled, just as he announced in the good news told to his servants the prophets. Such wonderful good news. So in chapter 11 and verse 15, the 7th angel blew his trumpet, and voices could be heard saying, the kingdom of the world has become the kingdom of our Lord and his Christ, and he will reign forever and ever. For those of us looking forward to the kingdom, this is the most wonderful news. But it also signals God's anger, because in verse 18 it says the time has come to destroy those destroying the earth. Now, for the sake of a prophet, we have destroyed this planet. God wanted Adam to look after the planet, to take care of it, cultivate it, look after the animals. We haven't done that. In order to become rich, we've poured carbon dioxide into the air using fossil fuels. We're cutting down forests, we're burning them, there's droughts, there's floods, and so on. This is all indicating that we're at this time when God is going to put an end to it. Because you'll notice in these words, God doesn't allow us to destroy the earth completely, but he puts an end to the destruction before we get that far. So it's actually full of hope. It's wonderful. We have come to the time when God is going to step in, and he's going to help us get through this time with prayer and much help from God. Thank you for listening this morning. Take care, all of you, and God bless.